Hello, my friend. Welcome back to Smart English Stories. Let me ask you something honest. Do you ever feel like your mind is too busy, too noisy, too full of worry? You think about the past. You worry about the future. You compare yourself to other people. You imagine bad things that might happen. And at the end of the day, you feel tired. Not because you work too hard, but because your mind never stopped running. If this sounds familiar, today's story is for you. Today, we are going to talk about how to control your thoughts. Because here's the truth. Your thoughts create your life. When your thoughts are full of fear and doubt, your life reflects that. But when your thoughts become calm and focused, your life begins to change. The good news is this. You can learn to control your thoughts. It takes practice, but it is possible. And today, I will show you how. Let us begin. The first step to controlling your thoughts is awareness. Awareness means noticing what is happening in your mind. Most people never do this. A negative thought appears, and they immediately believe it. They do not question it. They do not examine it. They just feel it and react to it. For example, a thought appears. I am not good enough. The person does not stop and ask, is this true? They just believe it. And that belief makes them feel small and afraid. But here is something very important to understand. A thought is not a fact. Your brain produces thoughts all day long. But not every thought is true. Not every thought deserves your attention. Awareness means stepping back and watching your thoughts. When a negative thought appears, instead of believing it immediately, you say to yourself, interesting. My mind just produced a negative thought. That small moment of distance is very powerful. You are no longer inside the thought. You are watching it from the outside. When you start watching your thoughts, you begin to notice patterns. Maybe your mind always worries about the future. Maybe your mind always criticizes you. Maybe your mind always compares you to others. Once you see these patterns, you can start to change them. Think of awareness like turning on a light in a dark room. Before the light is on, you cannot see anything. But once the light appears, everything becomes clear. Awareness works the same way in your mind. You cannot control something you cannot see. So first, learn to see your thoughts. That is where everything begins. One of the most powerful ways to control your thoughts is reading. Many people think reading is just about getting information. But reading does something much deeper. Reading changes the way your mind works. Think about this. Every day, your mind absorbs what you see and hear. If you spend hours watching negative content or reading bad news, your mind slowly fills with those things. Your thoughts become anxious. Your thinking becomes scattered. But when you read good books, something different happens. Books introduce you to new ideas. Books show you how successful and wise people think. And slowly, those ideas begin to change your own thinking. For example, if you read a book about discipline, your mind starts to understand how disciplined people think. You begin to see that success comes from small daily actions, not from big lucky moments. And that idea slowly becomes part of your own thinking. Reading also slows your mind down. When you read carefully, your brain has to focus. This kind of deep focus is like exercise for your mind. It trains your brain to think more clearly and stay calm. Here is another important point. Your mind is always full of something. It cannot be empty. So the question is simple. What are you filling it with? If you fill your mind with good ideas every day, your thoughts naturally become better. Better thoughts lead to better actions. And better actions create a better life. You do not need to read for hours. Even 5 or 10 pages every day can slowly change your thinking. Start small, but start now. Meditation is another powerful way to control your thoughts. Many people think meditation is difficult or strange, but it is actually very simple. Meditation does not mean stopping all your thoughts. That is impossible. Meditation means learning to watch your thoughts without reacting to them. Here is how it works. You sit quietly. You close your eyes. You focus on your breathing. You feel the air coming in and going out. Thoughts will still come. Your mind might think about something from yesterday, or worry about tomorrow. That is completely normal. The practice is simply this. When a thought comes, you notice it. You do not follow it. You gently bring your attention back to your breathing. Every time you do this, you are training your mind. You are building the ability to stay calm, even when thoughts are coming. This is very useful in real life. For example, imagine someone says something that makes you angry. Without training, your mind reacts immediately. You say something you regret. But when you have practiced meditation, something different happens. You notice the angry feeling rising. You pause, and in that pause, you can choose how to respond. That pause is the power of meditation. You do not need a long time. Even 5 to 10 minutes of quiet breathing every day can slowly change your mind. Your thoughts become calmer. Your emotions become more stable. And controlling your thinking becomes easier. This lesson might surprise you, but gratitude is one of the most powerful tools for controlling your thoughts. Here is why. Your brain has a natural habit of focusing on problems. It notices what is wrong. It remembers failures. It compares your life to others. This is how our brains were built, to look for danger. But in everyday life, this habit can hurt us. When your mind only focuses on problems, your thoughts become negative and heavy. Gratitude breaks this pattern. Gratitude means focusing on what is good in your life, not only on what is missing. Think about two people in the same situation. One person focuses on everything that is going wrong. The other person thinks about what they are grateful for. Both people live in the same reality, but their thoughts are completely different. And over time, their lives will become different too. Gratitude changes where your mind looks. Instead of asking, "Why is my life hard?" you begin asking, "What can I appreciate today?" This small change makes a big difference. Here is a simple practice. Every night before you sleep, think of 3 things you are grateful for. They do not have to be big. A kind word from someone, a warm meal, a moment of quiet. Small things count. When you do this every day, your brain slowly learns to look for good things. And when your mind looks for good things, negative thoughts lose much of their power. Another powerful habit is journaling. This means writing your thoughts on paper. Most people carry hundreds of thoughts in their head every day. Worries, questions, fears, ideas. All these thoughts stay inside the mind and go around and around. This makes the mind feel full and heavy. But when you write your thoughts down, something amazing happens. Your mind begins to organize itself. For example, imagine you feel anxious about something. Inside your head, the thoughts are messy and fast. What if this goes wrong? What if I fail? What if people are disappointed? But when you write these thoughts on paper, you can see them clearly. You can look at them calmly. You can ask yourself, is this thought true? Is this worry realistic? Often, when you see your worries written on paper, they do not seem as big as they felt inside your head. Writing also helps release stress. Many people feel better just from writing honestly about how they feel. It is like putting down a heavy bag you have been carrying all day. You do not need to write perfectly. You do not need beautiful sentences. Just write honestly. Even 5 minutes a day is enough. Over time, this habit helps you understand your own mind better. And when you understand your mind, controlling your thoughts becomes much easier. Here is something very important to understand. Your thoughts are not completely random. Your brain is like a program. Whatever you repeat again and again becomes a habit of thinking. If someone repeats negative thoughts every day, for example, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, nothing works for me, their brain slowly accepts these as true. After some time, the brain produces these thoughts automatically. This is how negative thinking patterns are formed, through repetition. But the good news is this: your brain can change. Scientists call this neuroplasticity. It means your brain can create new thinking habits when you practice new thoughts. So if you repeat better thoughts every day, your brain slowly begins to accept them too. For example, instead of thinking this is impossible, you practice thinking this is difficult, but I will find a way. Instead of thinking I always fail, you practice thinking I am learning and improving every day. At first, these new thoughts may feel strange or unnatural. That is okay. Your brain is just not used to them yet. Keep repeating them. Keep acting on them. Over time, the new thoughts become more natural. Your mind starts producing them automatically. And when your thoughts change, your actions change. And when your actions change, your life changes. Here is something that most people never do. Sit in silence for 5 minutes. Today, there is noise everywhere. From the moment people wake up, they check their phone. They listen to music. They scroll social media. They watch videos. Their brain is always receiving information. Because of this, the mind never gets a chance to rest. Thoughts become scattered. Attention becomes weak. But something powerful happens when you sit quietly. When you remove all the noise, your mind begins to calm down. At first, it may feel uncomfortable. Your mind will suddenly become very active. Many thoughts will appear quickly. But this is normal. Your mind is just releasing everything it was holding under all the noise. After a few minutes, the thoughts slow down. Your breathing becomes calmer. Your mind becomes clearer. Think of it like a glass of muddy water. When you shake it, the water stays cloudy. But when you put it down and let it rest, the mud settles and the water becomes clear. Your mind works the same way. Constant noise keeps your thoughts cloudy. Silence allows them to settle. Just 5 minutes of silence every day can make a big difference. You begin to understand your own mind better. You notice which thoughts keep coming back. And that awareness gives you the power to guide your thoughts more carefully. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is nothing. Just be still. Many people spend a lot of mental energy thinking about other people. They worry about what others think of them. They compare their life to others. They imagine how people might judge them. But this kind of thinking wastes a lot of your mental power, and it rarely helps you grow. Here is a simple idea that can change a lot. Focus 90% of your attention on yourself, only 10% on others. This does not mean being selfish. It means directing most of your mental energy toward your own growth. Ask yourself every day, how can I improve today? What can I learn? What habit can I build? What mistake can I learn from? When your mind is focused on your own progress, it has less space for comparison and worry. You stop asking, am I better than others? And you start asking, am I better than I was yesterday? This is a much healthier way to think. It removes unnecessary pressure. It gives your mind a clear direction. And when your mind has a clear direction, controlling your thoughts becomes much easier. Your energy goes to the things that actually help you grow. Here's a simple but powerful truth. Your thoughts come from what you consume. Everything you watch, read, listen to, and discuss slowly shapes how your brain thinks. If you watch negative news for hours every day, your mind fills with fear and anxiety. If you listen to angry conversations, your mind becomes more reactive. If you spend hours on social media comparing yourself to others, your mind fills with insecurity. But if you fill your mind with good ideas, helpful information, and positive conversations, your thinking becomes stronger. Think of your mind like a garden. Whatever you plant in, it will grow. If you plant seeds of negativity, negativity grows. If you plant seeds of wisdom and growth, those things grow instead. So ask yourself honestly, what am I putting into my mind every day? Choose better content. Read helpful books. Listen to stories that teach you something. Talk to people who help you grow. You do not need to be perfect about this, but small changes in what you consume every day can slowly make a big difference in how you think. When you protect what enters your mind, your thoughts naturally become cleaner and more powerful. The final lesson is very simple. Stop thinking too much. Start doing. Many people think too much and act too little. Their mind keeps asking, what if I fail? What if it goes wrong? What if people judge me? And while they are thinking, time passes. The moment is gone. Overthinking creates confusion, not answers. Here is the truth. Action is one of the best ways to control your thoughts. When you take action, your mind stops worrying and starts focusing on what you are doing right now. For example, imagine you want to improve your English speaking. If you just think about it and never speak, your mind creates more and more fear. But the moment you start speaking, even with mistakes, your brain begins to adapt. Confidence grows through action, not through thinking. There is a simple tool called the 5-second rule. When you know you should do something, count in your mind. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you move. You start the task. You take the action. Do not wait for motivation. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Just count and move. This works because the longer you wait, the louder the excuses become. But when you act immediately, you interrupt that pattern. You send a message to your brain. I am in control. Every time you choose action over hesitation, you build a stronger mind. And a stronger mind is a calmer, more focused, more powerful mind. My friend, we have reached the end of today's story. Today, you learn 10 habits to help you control your thoughts. You do not need to practice all of these at once. Start with 1. Do it every day. Then slowly add more. Because controlling your thoughts does not happen in one day. It is built slowly, through small daily habits. But every day you practice, your mind becomes a little stronger. And when your mind becomes strong, your life begins to change. Thank you for listening to Smart English Stories. If this story helped you, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Every day we share new stories to help you learn English and grow as a person. See you in the next story. Keep going. Keep growing.